Hello Lagos, good evening and welcome to Football Domain on your number one online television channel CTV. Football Domain is the show where we get to discuss everything going on in the world of football. Yes, and today I will be serving you fresh updates coming from the world of transfers and giving you updates as regards the football transfer market, all things you need to know about your clubs. I'm sure you guys are interested in that conversation, and I know you would have a great time on the show. Well, I am your host, Wisdom Chingoba, aka the Principal Thing, and I am here to serve you, like I said earlier, fresh updates coming from the world of football. So we are going to go on a very quick break. Once we return, we'll be going straight into the conversation of the day. Alright, welcome back Lagos. Yes, this is still Football Domain on CTV, and today our focus is on the transfer market. We know that while the preseason friendly games are currently ongoing across Europe, clubs are also making their moves as to rebuilding their squad. While there's been a lot of outgoings, club are also doing some incomings as well, and I am here to serve you updates coming from different clubs as regards transfers. And I will be starting with Manchester United, who so far have been the busiest club in England, or should I say in Europe per se, because they have done some offloading of players as well as adding players to the squad. And we know that Lenny Yoro joined Manchester United from Lille, the 18-year-old centre-back who, by the way, is currently playing for United now in a live game, because United are taking on Rangers in a friendly match which is currently going on, and Lenny Yoro is already part of that Manchester United team. And then Joshua Zexi, the Netherlands forward, as well as joined Manchester United. United have been linked with other transfer targets, especially in terms of the centre-back area and the midfield. There's talks with Matthias De Ligt of FC Bayern Munchen, as well as Jared Brantwaite of Everton. And then in midfield, conversations are going on with Martin Zubimendi as well as Manuel Ugarte of PSG and Real Sociedad respectively. So all of these are transfer rumors linking Manchester United, who under Yunus has been very busy in this transfer market. And still talking about United and transfer, there's a conversation about Anthony, the Brazilian winger, who wasn't so impressive in his first season at Manchester United, but there's been rumors or talks about him leaving United on loan this season, and United has only attached a condition to that conversation, saying any club that would be coming to offer to bid for a loan for Anthony would must be able to cover his £70,000 salary a week. Footballers earn per week, so any club that would be coming to bid for Anthony for loan has to be able to cover the entirety of his £70,000 salary per week. Come on, footballers and money. Sometimes I wonder if I'm meant to be out there or in here, but it is what it is. Let's just move on. That is that for Manchester United. But we know that Chelsea as well have been busy in the transfer market, but they haven't been as busy as United. Although Chelsea have just been, it's mostly more of rumors. We know Liverpool, Arne Slot has joined Liverpool as well. So let me just give you one or two updates. Ivan Toney, who was linked with Manchester United, I don't think he would be leaving Brentford anytime soon, except they get a suitable offer. The coach of Brentford that is talking about Thomas Frank, he made a statement saying, "I'd love him to stay." That is talking about Ivan Toney, saying that would give me a positive challenge. But you never know, because Ivan Toney has been linked with United as well as other clubs, but it looks like he would be staying at Brentford. But there's still time before the transfer window closes, so we never know what can happen. But this is, I wouldn't really say it's a breaking news, but it has to do with David De Gea, the former Manchester United shot stopper. David De Gea on X posted today, like what's it called? Forgive me, I'm trying to remember the word now. it just made a post on X that had to do with like a countdown. And there's been speculations or conversations flying around saying looks like David De Gea is finally close to joining a club, but we never know. David De Gea has been a free agent for close to a year now since he left Manchester United, and we've all been wondering where he's gonna land or where he's gonna end. Now, for Arsenal fans, this one would interest you because there's been a breakthrough, in their conversation with Riccardo Calafiori. Yes, Calafiori, the Italian centre back or left back, whichever one you want to call him, because he plays both positions. He plays left back, centre back. He's a very versatile defensive player, and there's been a breakthrough with that transfer as regarding Arsenal, because Arsenal initially wanted Calafiori, but there's been an issue with the club that is talking about AC Milan, where he was. But finally there's been a breakthrough. Bologna, beg your pardon, Bologna, that is the club he plays for, but there's been a breakthrough and they've agreed personal term with Riccardo Calafiori on a 5-year deal. So it's now time for both clubs to talk about the evaluation of the transfer, that is how much the player is worth and how much Arsenal is willing to pay for the player. Although the transfer range or the amount in the conversation is around 42 million, but that is just that. Now, N'Golo Kante has been on the news because West Ham United are hoping to land his signature. Now, this is a very difficult one for West Ham, as we hear that Al Ittihad are not willing to let Kante go at this stage. They are trying to build the team around N'Golo Kante. That is talking about the Saudi club in Al Ittihad, but West Ham are pushing to sign N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante, we know, is a serial winner. He's won the World Cup with France. He's won the Champions League with Chelsea, as well as other trophies with Chelsea. He is a serial winner, a very versatile midfielder, despite the fact that he is in his 30s. But West Ham are hoping to make a bid of 20 million euros, hoping they can land the signature, but that is a very difficult one. We are also going to be looking at that, so hopefully they can get that signature, because it would be a good one for them. Now, Napoli are eyeing Billy Gilmore of Brighton and Hove Albion. Antonio Conte, who is the new manager, earlier this week he cleared the air about Victor Osimhen leaving Napoli, because we know, or reports have stated, that Victor Osimhen has agreed a move to PSG. He has agreed personal terms with PSG, and Napoli and PSG are trying to work out the contract situations and talking about the evaluation of the transfer. But while that is going on, Napoli and Antonio Conte have submitted a bid, or they are eyeing rather Billy Gilmore. Reports suggested that Napoli made a bid of around 8 million, which was rejected by Brighton, but they seem set to go in for another one. Just to conclude with this transfer story, I wouldn't really call it a transfer story, but it has to do with going in and coming out, and it is about the vacant position of England. Well, earlier this week, Gareth Southgate, England boss, decided to resign as England manager after spending 8 years at the helm of affairs leading the English national team. He decided to resign, and the position has been declared vacant, open to application by the FA of the English Football Federation. But Eddie Howe, the Newcastle manager, who has been linked with the job, has come out to say, hey, yes, it's it's an honor to be considered for this position, but I am committed to staying at Newcastle. Although no one knows what the future holds, but right now his focus is mostly on Newcastle. Same with Graham Potter, who was sacked by Chelsea about a year ago. These two men have been linked with the job, but they don't seem to be ready to take up that position right now. And to conclude, Barcelona are considering a move for Dani Olmo. Yes, the RB Leipzig midfielder, 26-year-old midfielder, who was the top scorer, joint top scorer at the Euros. He just concluded Euros 2024. Dani Olmo has been linked with FC Barcelona, who making moves already to land the 26-year-old at Barcelona. Same thing with Nico Williams of Athletic Bilbao. Barcelona trying their possible best to land these two players at the Camp Nou, and they will be hoping to bolster their attacking options next season. So we are going to go on a break, guys, and once we come back from this break, we'll be wrapping up the show with just a tiny bit of conversation. So you are still listening to Football Domain. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a bit. Alright, Lagos, welcome back. You are still listening to Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV. I remain your host, Wisdom Chingoba, aka the Principal Thing. Before we went on the break, I was giving you updates as regards, the football transfer market and things going on with clubs. I gave you updates from England as well as, the general football market. But now we would be moving to a different conversation, and it has to do with players who has decided to call quits to their career, players who have decided to hang up their boots. So today we'll just be talking on 6 players who decided to call it quits after the Euros. Most of them ended or decided to call their career quits at the end of the season, while some decided to extend it a bit further to the end of the Euros. But let me just give you a bit of idea of the players that we are talking about. If not because of time, I would have really loved you to send in your comments so we can have a bit of conversation about these players as to what you think about their career and how successful would you rate their career on a scale of 1 to 10. But let's just move on. So the first person on our list is Thiago Alcantara of Liverpool. So Thiago announced his retirement in July 2024 after leaving Liverpool at the end of last season. The 33-year-old midfielder played for Barcelona, played for Bayern, and also the Spanish national team. But he had quite series of injury, loads of injury during his time at Liverpool, which hampered his playing time. But now that he has retired, he has gone back to Barcelona and has joined Hansi Flick. Although that is still that can still be classified as rumors, but he has posted some pictures about him back at Barcelona. So that is number 1 on our list, Thiago Alcantara. And the next person on our list is Toni Kroos. Yes, we all know Toni Kroos, the German legend, the Real Madrid legend, one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. He decided to hang his boots after Germany got knocked out in the Euros by Spain in the quarterfinal. Now Toni Kroos won both the La Liga and the Champions League during his final season at Real Madrid. He was hoping to land another international trophy with Germany, but that was cut short by Spain. And Toni Kroos' statement read, "My ambition was always to finish my career at the peak of my performance level. From now on, there is only one leading thought: go for 15. Hala Madrid and nothing more." So Toni Kroos won the Champions League with Real Madrid as well as the Spanish La Liga last season, and before calling it quits. Now moving over to one more person, that is talking about Thomas Müller. Yes, Thomas Müller. We all know Thomas Müller, also another German legend, spent his entire career playing for FC Bayern München. Won the Champions League with them. He also won the Bundesliga. They won it back-to-back for almost 10 or 9 seasons straight away. Thomas Müller spent his entire career playing for Bayern and also the German national team. Decided to call it quits And then we would be talking about Jordan Shaqiri next on our list. Jordan Shaqiri, the Switzerland midfielder, very crucial for Switzerland. Not he played for Liverpool as well. Played for Liverpool, won the league with Liverpool. Surprisingly, he also had stints at Bayern, but he's known mostly for his exploits with the Swiss national team, where he is known mostly for his wonderful strikes, mostly screamers, from 20 yards out, 25 yards out, wonderful shots, that rifles the goal. That is what Jordan Shaqiri is known for. But after the Euros, decided to call it quits to his career. There is also Angel Di Maria, who is 37. And after winning the Copa America with Argentina, last week or last two, if I'm not mistaken, last week, just to conclude the Copa America, beg your pardon for my timing issues, but Angel Di Maria decided to call it quits to his international career, although he still has one more season with Benfica. He would be playing one more season with Benfica, and then he would make up his mind if he would be retiring permanently from football, or he still has energy to go for more seasons or not. And then we'll talk about Joe Hart. Joe Hart is the next person on our list. Joe Hart, England, is a Manchester City legend. Played for Manchester City for almost 12 years, won 2 Premier League titles, and also played for the English national team, and he decided to call his career quits. Yes, after playing for 3 years with Celtic, he decided to retire. And I think that would be the end of what we have for you today. Today there wasn't really much for us to discuss about, so we decided to give you updates from the world of football, all this tiny bit of information just for you to be abreast with the current happenings. Sometimes it's not really about what is going on the field. Sometimes you need to have an idea what is going on behind the scene or off field. That is what we decided to do on today's football domain. I hope you enjoyed watching the show, and I hope that your footballing knowledge has increased after spending these few minutes with me on the show. I've had fun doing this. I've had fun serving you all of this information, and I know you also on the other side has had fun as well. Before I go, do not forget Proverbs 4 verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all thy getting, get understanding. Goodbye. Do have a beautiful weekend. Thank you.